The Skate franchise is changing forever, and all we can do is watch as EA continues to transform gaming in a very controversial direction. FIFA, Titanfall, and F1 are all games that have had their identity modified in order to fit EA's quote-unquote vision. After 15 years of anticipation, the latest installment in the Skate franchise is dropping with a huge change that no one ever saw coming. And while many believe this change is a sign of doom, there seems to be so much more behind it if you take a look at what's happening in gaming right now. But first, what exactly is this change I'm talking about? Well, if you don't know, during the rollout for the upcoming Skate game, the devs implied that the new Skate game would not be coming with an offline mode, which came as a huge shock to members of the community. Story mode had been a core part of previous Skate games. To suddenly rip it out would mean isolating that part of the community, not to mention total reliance on the online mode, which many believe will destroy the game. And this is insane because Skate 4 Now Skate was shaping up to be a worthy successor to Skate 3. Think about it, EA finally gave the green light. We've got the OG dev team working on it. We've heard so many good things about the new Skate. Everything is suddenly working out after so many years of setbacks and disappointment. But then we have this huge elephant in the room. It's like using burnt toast for BB&J. Kinda leaves a bad taste in your mouth, you know? And I'm not the only one that shares this opinion. On their dev videos, the comment section is consistently being bombarded by thousands of fans, all asking about offline career mode and expressing their distaste for this direction Skate seems to be headed in. This game looks incredible, but I'm worried about it not having offline single player mode. That's what gave Skate 3 such a long lifespan. I don't want to play with anyone, I want to play alone, offline, and be happy. Playing with friends is great, but being able to explore alone is really nice to have. Most of my fun in Skate 3 wasn't even in the online mode, it was in the bits of exploration and just straight up flowing through the locations that were the most enjoyable part. I'm hoping that there's an offline or single player mode to allow that without needing to be forced into multiplayer 24/7. All of these comments were made on the official Skate YouTube channel, and all of them seem to be ignored in favor of supporting literally everything else. It's pretty clear that this is a really sore spot for the upcoming game, and it's no surprise that there's so much pushback. Because if you rewind for a bit, skating games in general have always relied on career mode. Back then, skateboarding games like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and Skate were simple. No leaderboards, no consistent updates, just you, the game, and all the time in the world. For many of us, single player mode was where it all began. It was the heart of the Skate experience, a space where you could take risks, experiment, and fail without anyone watching. And then there came career mode. This was where the magic happened. You'll start as a nobody, just a mere skater with a dream, and by the end, you were the cover of Thrasher, headlining demos and running your own skate crew. Career mode wasn't just about progression, it was about storytelling, your story. The highs, the lows, the rivalries, the moments of dumb luck that somehow worked out. And for a lot of players, it was a personal journey, one they weren't ready to give up on. These different versions all came with something unique that we all accepted and grew to love. This latest update, online only, feels like a slap in the face for fans who've supported the franchise for all these years while huffing copium of the next legendary Skate game. For starters, it's unreliable. No internet, no game, server maintenance. Guess you're taking a break, whether you want it or not. Nothing says fun like staring at a loading screen while the service inevitably crashes. And as we know, EA games are notorious bad at handling servers, with a game like Apex consistently having its servers breached by hackers. But it really goes deeper. By making Skate online only, Full Circle is taking away something fundamental: choice. The choice to play whenever you want without interruptions. The choice to disconnect from the chaos of the world and just exist. That's what we are scared to lose. I remember being 14, grounded for skipping math class to hit a real skate park. My punishment? No internet. My escape from boredom? Skate 2. I spent hours on the game grinding and pretending I didn't just fail my algebra test. Look, around this point, I think it's important to ask why the devs are choosing to make Skate offline only. Is it even their decision? Or is there something bigger at play? This isn't just about offering a modern experience. It feels like there's a lot more going on behind the scenes. The first ever skate game had an offline mode, and with every new installment in the franchise, the offline mode was retained and improved upon. I have already talked about the significance of offline mode in Skate, and it's clear that the mode is pretty important. This is why it becomes a bit concerning that Full Circle have been very vague about offline mode. Right now, they are claiming that the online-only model is essential for creating the perfect game they envision. They have promised a living, breathing, and consistently evolving world. They talk about things like collabo zones, where skaters can build together and bring their creations to life and to the public. They are basically hyping up the model as the ultimate dream skateboarding experience. But at the same time, they are making it seem as though this is something that can only exist without the presence of an offline mode. Though the dream they are selling us sounds incredible, couldn't all these features still exist alongside an offline mode? They don't have to be mutually exclusive, they could coexist. I bet you could have a vibrant online community while equally keeping an offline mode for those who want to skate independently. Other games like GTA 5, FIFA, and Forza Horizon have proven this is possible, so why isn't it happening in Skate? The reason why Full Circle is refusing to consider including both makes us question their motive. Why are they doubling down on online only? And why are they ignoring the passionate pleas from fans who just want to skate solo? Here's where things start to get messy. While Full Circle might be the developers and creative team behind Skate, the puppet strings are being pulled by the publishers, EA. And these guys are notorious for never putting players first. EA has even made it clear where their priorities lie: live service games. In fact, EA CEO Andrew Wilson has openly praised live service games as the future of the industry. Why, you may ask? Because they are insanely lucrative. Those in-game purchases, endless customization options, and regular updates are not only designed to keep players coming back, but also to make EA ridiculous amounts of money. The online-only model gives EA everything they want: control over the game's ecosystem, a platform for microtransactions, and a way to keep players engaged and spending for years. Adding offline or single-player modes would not only be inconvenient for them, since they would have to spend extra resources, it would disrupt their entire monetization strategy, since there are just some people who might never touch online. It's quite certain that they have made their decision on the online-only model, with no willingness to bend or compromise. For Full Circle to leave out career mode, it means that was possibly the only way the higher-ups at EA would agree to give the game the green light. That is, EA most likely wants another live service money printer in their collection. When you look at the revenue numbers for the online games they currently own, it's no surprise why they would opt for this model again. Apex Legends, which was released in 2019, has made EA over $3.4 billion. FC 24 made them $1.9 billion in just a year, and a game like The Sims 4 makes EA around $400 million every year. The list goes on. But let's be real, the history of online-only games isn't exactly smooth. Different failed games like Concord and Anthem have shown a million different ways something could go wrong. The problem with most live service games is that they are consistently plagued with bugs, server issues, and possible hackers, not to mention the inconsistent content drops which inevitably lead to the death of the game. What often happens is that the game gets all this hype on launch day because of their massive ad campaigns, and in 3 months, the player count is struggling. To truly build a successful game, you need longevity. And in a live service model like this, there are so many issues that could arise. What happens when the servers go down? Or worse, what happens 2 years down the line when EA decides it's no longer profitable to keep Skate running and shuts them off entirely? Skate as we know it will vanish. This isn't just about losing offline mode, it's about losing everything. And it points to a larger problem in the industry. You own nothing and you will be happy. That's what makes this new Skate such a gamble. If the server crashes, if the updates stop, if the community moves on, what then happens to the game? This is the reality of online-only games. It is temporary. The end of support isn't just an inconvenience, it's basically a death sentence. Offline and single player modes, on the other hand, are timeless. You can pick it up more than a decade after it releases and play it exactly how you remember it. That is the power of an offline game. Within the Skate community, there is a genuine concern that this reboot might turn into yet another cash grab for EA. They fear that Skate will become the kind of game where progression is tied to microtransactions, where every trick, board, and outfit is locked behind a paywall. And to be honest, I share the same fear too. I don't want Skate to become a game that prioritizes monetization over creativity, community, and fun. The reputation that EA has picked up for being greedy doesn't exactly fill the community with great confidence. Although it's still full circle and it's passionate devs working on the game, you kind of have to admit that their paychecks are all still coming from EA, and at the end of the day, EA gets the final say. One of EA's games, Apex Legends, is currently facing the exact problem, where Respawn, the studio responsible for Apex, wants to make changes good for the community, but EA consistently shoots them down, forcing the studio to continue churning out lackluster skins and loot boxes in the hopes of satisfying EA with what is left of their player base. And now this same company is asking us to trust them with Skate, a series that holds a special place in our hearts. Now don't get me wrong, Skate looks and sounds incredible. The promise of a consistently evolving world and the ability to create alongside players from around the globe is huge. If Full Circle delivers on their promises, Skate 4 might not just be a game, it might be the ultimate skateboarding experience, just as they claim. And let's give credit where credit is due. The developers at Full Circle aren't just slapping online only on the box and calling it a day. They are building something exceptional. For one, they have promised that Skate 4 will be free to play with no $70 price tag, no paid expansions, and no expensive DLCs. The core experience is open and accessible to everyone. Or at least that's what they promise, but who really knows where EA might sway them. And then there's collabo zones, shared spaces where players can build parks, organize events, and even vote on changes to the game world. It's like Minecraft meets skateboarding, and honestly, all these added features sound really cool. But again, we'll only know for sure when we actually touch the game later this year. However, it's quite understandable why EA might have been hesitant to sink additional resources into developing a full-blown career mode. I mean, the game is free, and maybe we are asking for too much from a free-to-play game. But I'm sure there's a lot of people out there, including myself, that wouldn't mind paying 20 to 30 bucks if it meant there would be an offline career mode. At this point, you are probably feeling bogged down by the situation, and you're probably wondering what this means for the future of Skate. For some, the loss of offline mode is heartbreaking, and it feels like betrayal. For others, the online feature of Skate looks bright, reflecting the evolution of gaming and an exciting new chapter. And for most of us, well, we're stuck somehow in between, excited but cautious, hopeful but skeptical, because at its core, whether it's offline or online, Skate has always been more than just a game. It's a feeling. It's that rush of landing a trick line, the freedom of exploring an open world, and the creativity of making it your own. Whether Skate can capture that feeling in an online-only world remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure, the stakes have never been higher.